All right, we started putting on the panels for the door that we're making here. I'm going in from each side, and I'm being very meticulous on how I place these boards. What we're doing here is we're putting glue under each panel, and then I'm drilling 4 holes that are countersunk with this drill bit here that will allow the top of the screw head to fit flush on the wood as I screw it in, and it also prevents it from splitting as we push the screw into the wood. So we're going to continue on here. I've got the 2 end pieces here, which are just regular pine, and then I'm going to start putting in these more decorative pieces of the cedar, and I think we've got some poplar over there and even some mahogany. I think that piece over there that's sticking up is the mahogany. I think that's going to be used for the cross piece, but you'll see that here shortly. All right, we've got the basic frame and the cross piece that you see so many times on barn style doors completed. And we've got some of the back panels in already also, and I gotta tell you, it's looking absolutely fantastic. You can start to see it come together quite nicely. And if we zoom in here and come a little bit closer, the routing that I'm doing on the in between each panel is really starting to make it pop out a little bit, and I'm glad I made the decision to do that. And this cross piece here is a piece of mahogany, and I just had one piece, and what was absolutely incredible about that piece is that this corner and the corner at the bottom, when I lined it up diagonally, it matched up perfectly. And when I mean perfect, it means that I did not have to cut the corner or anything off on any of the saws. The only cut I needed to make was 2 cuts, one across the diagonal that way and one across on the bottom, because the corners matched up perfectly, as I said. So I had to be precise on that, and we got it pretty darn close, almost to perfection here. So I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. Now what I'm going to be able to do is start putting my pieces on. I'm going to be able to nail or screw in from the back into this board to make it a little more stiff and secure. And then we're just going to continue on with that. So it's going to be random pieces. You can tell here I've got 2 3-inch pieces there, and then I've got the first piece, and then I have a piece of cedar there. We'll probably put the next piece of cedar there, and we'll just continue on and just put random pieces in to make it look like an old style barn door. All right, as you can see, the barn door is coming together quite nicely. I got a few more panels in, as you can see, routed them up, and the seams, the vertical seams that you see there, are coming together quite nicely. And you can see how well the contrasting is starting to look. I've got the 2 dark red pieces there that are cedar, and then we still have that mahogany piece at a diagonal. But we've got plenty of wood here that we are putting together, cutting down to strips that we need to put in there. I've got a few more pieces of cedar left that we're going to add. By the time we're done and we stain all this up, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. All right, we have finished the barn door for the bonus room storage area, and as you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. We were able to rip down all the pieces for the wood that I had left over. Didn't have to buy a single piece, and fit them all into place. And we used a bunch of different species here. We've got oak on the top and bottom. That diagonal piece there is mahogany. The reddish brown pieces are cedar. There's pine in there. There may even be some poplar in there. But it all looks fantastic with all the contrasting colors and everything. So as we were sitting here for 5 minutes admiring the door, we decided that we should probably not stain this at all. We are going to leave this a natural color. All I need to do though is clean this whole door up with some fine sandpaper. For example, we've got these black parts here that were from the sawhorses leaving marks. I've got to trim this piece off here. The white that you see on the mahogany here is dried paint that was left over from the sawhorses also. There's a few scuff marks on here, but that'll give it a little bit of a natural characteristic to it. not too worried about that, but the key here is to sand it down and get it smooth. And then what we're going to do is either use something like linseed oil or mineral oil, and then mix that with some type of wax, maybe some beeswax. So we're going to decide after I do a little bit of research of what to use, and we'll put that on here to make it final coat. So with that being said, we're going to close this one out. We will fit this into place and then show you what the finishing process is going to be, and then hanging it into place once we get to that point. So with that, we will see you at the next series. Until next time, peace out.